What is going on, everyone? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegis back with you for another edition of Tropics Watch Live. Hey, we are coming to the end of hurricane season. We're working our way there. There's still a little more than 2 weeks left, of course, officially. The last day is November 30th. December 1st officially comes to an end. You see this orange blob I have in the middle of your screen, though. This is a highlight from the Hurricane Center. Now, if you've been a frequent visitor of Tropics Watch Live, you would know that we've really been talking about this area since early October, that we would likely see a flare-up to end the year, and this is that flare-up. We had an area of enhanced convection, thunderstorm activity, kind of rolling through this part of the Atlantic Basin, and this is about to be the end result. Right now, it's just teeny tiny thunderstorms. They are bringing some nasty weather to parts of Nicaragua and Honduras, just off the coast of Costa Rica and Panama. Nonetheless, over the next few days, we're likely going to see this thunderstorm activity expand northward, become a little more prolific, and then eventually, potentially anyway, become a tropical system, starting with a depression, and then maybe getting as strong as a tropical storm somewhere around Jamaica, Cuba, and then into the Haiti area. You see that's where the blob is drawn. We come at you every Monday at 11 o'clock or as needed on YouTube, the clickorlando.com YouTube page. If you're watching from the Pinpoint Hurricane app, welcome. Thanks for being here on clickorlando.com. Thanks for being here on News 6 Plus and on the Pinpoint News app, weather app, the WKMG News app. We have so many apps to keep you updated that I lose track of what apps, but we are everywhere you are. So post in the comments if you are watching on YouTube. I am going to turn the comment generator thing on so that we can have a conversation as we break down not one blob, but two. Now, the second one, if you are watching from Florida, and this is Florida-centric, but we talk about all the tropics and whatnot, all that stuff. There is an interesting little blob number 2 coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, the Western Gulf, and we're going to break that down as well. Hey, Kevin, good morning. Hope you're doing well in Lakeland. Thank you for being a frequent viewer of Tropics Watch Live. I appreciate you and everybody else watching. All right. Without further ado, let's break this puppy down. Here is the GFS model. Now, the GFS has been kind of hinting at this thing for a long time now. I always say, especially in the long range, okay, you have to be cautious when a model spits something out, unless there is a meteorological factor, a scientific factor, the cause and effect, if you will. We talked about the Madden-Julian oscillation, kind of enhancing things a little bit. That convective pulse that kind of rolls around the globe. That's what this was born out of. That tropical depression, that short-lived one, albeit, that's what that was about toward that moved into Central America a couple of weeks ago. So again, the cause and effect, the GFS has been on it, albeit it's had varying intensities. But here we go, November 16th, so 3 days from now. Here is one swirl. This is not that orange highlight. We're going to talk about this thing later on. So if you're watching from the Gulf Coast, Louisiana through Florida, I got you guys covered specifically with the heavy rain coming down the pipeline. We are first going to talk about the highest potential for tropical development. And you see what happens here, and that was kind of a fast motion. I'm going to show you a bunch of other models as well, but it kind of gets swept up in this area as a depression or tropical storm as we move to the 17th, 18th, 19th ballpark. GFS is on the faster side. I want to show you the Euro. If you were with us, 2 weeks ago now, last week as well, the European model was just not on board. Sometimes it does have trouble, especially in the Caribbean, consolidating things. Now, the GFS is always a little too aggressive. The Euro may not be aggressive enough. Kind of that happy medium where we kind of look in between. But you see that swirl here. So the European now back on board, or on board, been on board really since Friday and the weekend, of showing a system around Jamaica and then lifting up through eastern Cuba and then eventually parts of Hispaniola, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and then maybe even bringing some heavy rain to parts of Puerto Rico. This is a front here. You kind of see the wind barbs like this, or the streamlines, I should say. There's our dip in the jet stream there. That is going to protect the southeast corner of the United States. So this does not have any shot coming to Florida or anything like that. If it does impact the U.S. at all, it would have to do some weird stuff and be pulled in by that jet stream way up north of the southeast corner of the U.S. So a couple of things to watch there going forward. Now, We're going to bring in a few other models. I'm going to back up the train here. I'm going to switch my computer sources here, and we're going to just show you what these different model solutions are coming to a conclusion, the different solutions here. And then we're going to take a look at that thing coming out of Texas, because that's going to be the most impactful thing, whether it becomes tropical or not. And again, we'll get into that in just 1 second, because I don't start getting off on a tangent, and then you know me. Here's the deal. There's the GFS, again, the surface pressure precip. So here's our little guy, and it comes up, and it gets it to 996, 990 as it comes towards Jamaica and Cuba. So we're talking about a tropical storm. The GFS is arguing for a tropical storm if it can get its act together. And then here is the front right through there, that little green off the eastern seaboard. And then there you go. There's our low. It sweeps it away from Florida. So we're good to go there in Florida. We're watching this entity, this potential disturbance for Jamaica, for eastern Cuba, and then Hispaniola. Maybe the Turks and Caicos as well if it lifts straight up. So there you go with the euro. It's weaker there, but it still shows. Then it kind of loses it. So it shows something, maybe a depression. So the euro on the weaker side. The icon coming in, the German icon, pretty reliable tropical model, coming 998. This is on Friday, November 17th, right through Jamaica, and then eastern Cuba, parts of Haiti, Turks and Caicos, and the extreme eastern Bahamas. So those are kind of the scenarios. I think everything is kind of painting the picture of a low-end tropical system working its way from the extreme southwest Caribbean all the way into Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, and then Turks and Caicos, maybe the eastern Bahamas, and then potentially strengthening even further as it gets still over the very warm waters of the southwest Atlantic. Again, we had record warmth in that part of the world for a very, very long time. And with that, I want to show you the craziness of this video, of this live stream. Look at how warm the water is in the Caribbean. We're still talking 90s, 91 around Jamaica, 91 in between Jamaica and Haiti, Cuba. That's crazy. It's November 13th, and we still have water temperatures in the low 90s. Insane stuff. Things have started to cool a little bit in the Gulf. You see the 83 up toward Texas, and then in between, just north of the Gulf Stream, we have the low to mid 80s. That is still plenty to fuel anything in the tropics. The threshold is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit to be able to sustain and have a tropical system strengthen. So some craziness going on with the water temperatures. Just nuts. I want to show you, if you've been, again, a frequent visitor of Tropics Watch, this. Tropical cyclone heat potential. You know all about what this is. We talk about this a lot. Tropical systems need not only warm surface temperatures, but they need deep, warm water. This is the measure of where the water is not only warm, but super warm, and then way below the ocean surface as well. So when the system kind of gets those big waves going, churns up some cooler water, the water beneath the ocean is not all that cool. So you see we've lost a lot of that heat potential in the extreme southwest Caribbean, and the extreme southwest Gulf of Mexico, Bay of Campeche, into just north of the Gulf Stream. But it is still crazy right on in here. And that's right where our storm would be born and develop and lift north. So there's plenty of fuel out there, unfortunately, for this storm to work with. Did you hear that? That was pretty. That's a live broadcast right there. Sorry, throat's a little dry, so I'm just refueling myself with coffee. So that's what that is. And then we got the nice little twang. I love it.
You're your own storm.
That's right. That's right.
That's
There you go. All right. Hey, Chuck, what's going on, my friend? Thanks for joining the live stream. Always appreciate you. So there are the potential rainfall. So no matter what happens with this thing, love the picture, by the way. Love your icon. That's some cool stuff. A lot of moisture coming to the pipeline. Now, you do see, like, toward Miami even, 2 to 3 inches of rain. That is partially involved because we had that surge of tropical moisture, partially related to that little disturbance in the Southwest Caribbean. It's not going to make a direct impact, though. It's not going to make a landfall per se, but still a lot of rain coming down the pipeline. Now, if you've been watching a satellite map, you may be thinking, okay, well, we have a tropical system developing in the Gulf of Mexico, too. It's not tropical. I would not be surprised. And if you sign up for the Tropics Watch newsletter, click orlando.com/newsletters. You're going to get the message from me, the newsletter from me, in your inbox shortly. And what that's going to say is, I would not be surprised if the Hurricane Center highlights this thing here for a low chance of tropical development. Low chance is going to be the key word. It's not going to change impacts in any way, shape, or form. The issue with this one is that there is an upper level low tied to this. This is a non-tropical entity. So you see this little swirl right here. All right. There is our dip in the jet stream. Just like that. So we have an L there. We have a developing surface low right here. It would have to detach itself from that. It would have to then, instead of getting its strength from differences in temperature and pressure, it would have to kind of convert itself into a tropical. So it would have to go that tropical transition, and it would have to do so from about right here to about right here. Is it impossible? No. But it's not going to turn into like a behemoth thing. There's so much wind shear up in here. Who sang that song? Up in here. My gosh. That's gonna kill me the rest of the morning. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll think that's not important right now. But there's gonna be a lot. Again, this is regardless. Please put that in the comments if you know who that was. I know who it was. I just can't think of it right now. Not enough coffee. DMX. I think it might be DMX. Yes. You're going to make me lose my mind. I can't rap. I love that song, though. All right. So look at all the rain coming to the North Gulf Coast and the Florida Peninsula, specifically the Big Bend. That's because of that blob out there. Again, I don't think it's going to turn tropical. It might have the very smallest chance. I'm going to show you. I'm going to find my wind shear graphic in just 1 second here. We're going to take a deep dive into that. But you kind of see Central Florida being split with some heavy rain in South Florida, and then some very, very heavy rain, like several inches, maybe up to 6-8 inches of rain into parts of the Big Bend of Florida, maybe the Florida Panhandle, and then back toward Louisiana. So that's going to be where the main event for that thing goes, regardless. Let me dig out my wind shear graphic. It's not that far, and I found it. Let me just make sure my time is right. Let me move the map up. We're focused in on the Caribbean because we were looking at that last week for potential development. Let me change my time on this. Monday, Tuesday. The darker the blue, the stronger the wind shear, the higher the wind shear. So we're doing okay for our Caribbean disturbance. It's light blue and even non-existent. But nonetheless, look towards the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, that's because we have jet stream energy right there. Any thunderstorm that will get going will get sheared apart. If it does overachieve, I think more likely than not, even if it gets a low-end highlight from the Hurricane Center, it's going to be a sloppy-looking non-tropical system, more like just a big non-tropical system that could produce severe weather for Florida. Again, that is out in the lower realm of possibility right now, but it's something we are watching and mindful of. Thank you, Chuck, for the confirmation of DMX. Appreciate you. We are talking all things important weather here, of course. Alrighty. Doing the noon show today. If you are watching from the greater Orlando area, from Marion County to Brevard, in between Sumter Lake, my voice is getting scratchy. I've been doing a lot of talking today because I was in the morning show too. So we're going to leave it at that. Do me a favor. If you found this content helpful and you are on YouTube, hit that subscribe button for me. I would love that. If you want to stay updated on Florida weather especially and on the tropics, hit that subscribe button. If you liked this video or this live stream, we are live, by the way. We're live. And I lost my train of thought. This is what happens on a Monday. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Really, really small thing to do, but it helps us out a lot. It pushes us out to more people because we like to think that we give very good information here to keep you updated on all things weather. We're, of course, passionate about it, and we take this very, very seriously. So we like to get this out in front of more people, and giving it a thumbs up helps that. In the meantime, go to clickorlando.com/newsletters to get. I'm gonna just in a few minutes. I'm gonna send out a newsletter. It's called Tropics Watch, and it's gonna have a breakdown of everything we just talked to and kind of summarize it up with a bunch of links to click. I'm losing my voice today, guys. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, we're gonna talk next Monday. And we'll see what becomes of this system. And again, if you want to stay updated on that, we're going to have videos posted throughout the week. Hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you next time. I appreciate you all tuning in. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It's crazy that we have Thanksgiving next week. It's just wild. I don't know where the time is going. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I really, really do. Thank you very much, guys. We'll catch you Monday.